Hello everybody and welcome to the fifth video in our series of videos on the US War of Independence. Today we will be looking at the Declaration of Independence and the continuation of the war which erupted in our last video. As always, we begin with our learning outcomes, so by the end of this presentation you guys should know what common sense was and its two main points. Second, you guys should know when the Declaration of Independence was passed and two facts about it. And third, you guys should know three facts about the course of the War of Independence in the US in 1776. As we have seen, the American War of Independence began at Lexington and Concord in April of 1775. But at this point, the Americans were unsure of what the aim was of this fighting. Were they just looking for better treatment for the British, or were they looking for complete independence? One of the writings that massively influenced the thinking of people of America was a pamphlet called Common Sense, and this was written by Thomas Paine in 1776. And he wrote it in a way that everybody, and not just the politicians, could understand his main points. And his main points were that America should fight for complete independence. And second, when they get that independence, they shouldn't have a king, but instead a democratic republic where you get to vote for your leaders. This had a big influence on the members or the delegates of the Third Continental Congress. After much debate, they decided to pursue a policy of complete independence from the British. And a man named Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, which was passed by the Third Continental Congress on the 4th of July, which is now known as American Independence Day. The signing of the Declaration by the Founding Fathers, which is the name of the signatories, is a huge moment in the history of the world, not just America. However, it is important to point out some of the issues with it. The first lines of the Declaration of Independence read, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain undeniable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." However, this idea of all men created equal did not extend to slaves, of which there were about 500,000 in the colony time, and all the founding fathers had slaves. It didn't extend to women who were not given the same rights as men in voting, and it did not extend to Native Americans who were not given the same rights as colonists. However, the war did continue, and at this point, even though the Declaration of Independence had been signed, there was no guarantee of success. And things began to turn against Washington and his Continental Army. They had failed in an invasion of Canada before the Declaration of Independence, and afterwards Washington was defeated at the Battle of Long Island in New York, and they lost the city to the British. Washington retreated here to Pennsylvania, and they looked to be heading into winter with really low morale. Soldiers were deserting, they were not re-enlisting, and many thought the British would soon win. In a famous moment in the War of Independence, George Washington launched a surprise attack on the British at a place called Trenton. This operation was known as Victory or Death. Here he crossed the Delaware River in the middle of the night on Christmas Day, and he defeated and the surprised British army. He then launched another surprise attack at Princeton on the 3rd of January in 1777. And these two victories were crucial in keeping the war going. Many thought it was just a matter of time before the British would win, but these two victories by Washington showed that there was life still in the Continental Army, and that it really boosted the morale of the soldiers to show that they could defeat the British with the right tactics. That brings us to the end of our presentation. So by now you guys should know what common sense was, the famous pamphlet written by Thomas Jefferson, and its two main points. Second, you guys should know when the Declaration of Independence was passed and two facts about it. And third, you guys should know three facts about the course of the War of Independence in 1776, whether that be the invasion of Canada, the Battle of Long Island, the retreat to Pennsylvania, the crossing of the Delaware, and the attack on Trenton, or the attack on Princeton. that brings us to the end of our presentation. Hope you guys got something good from this video.